Well, good morning. Thank you again for taking the time to read the email I've sent you today and clicking on the link to what is episode 2 of our Q and CCA web series. Thank you to all the winners coast to coast who took the time to send myself or a CCA staff member some feedback, some questions. It was really, really great to hear from so many of you. And yeah, I'm excited to see where this web series is going to go. I'm going to try, and I'm glancing off to my left. This is all new territory for me, as much as I enjoy speaking to live audiences when we do our presentations. Speaking to a little dot on my computer can be a little intimidating. So I am reading off some notes on my phone as we go through this. So again, thank you for all the great feedback that I received, the stories, the questions that you all shared. Lots to go with, and as I mentioned, I'm just really super excited to use this platform to bring us all together coast to coast. So right off the bat, I did have a couple people, maybe those who know me a little bit better, ask me, maybe tongue-in-cheek perhaps, about why I'm wearing a jacket and shirt here at home during these lockdown measures. Well, when I came down that morning, my wife had the same reaction. She hasn't seen me in a jacket or shirt in weeks, and anyway, she got a kick out of it, and I'll probably throw up a picture that maybe tells why she thought the rest of the story was so funny. But yeah, I wasn't going to be prepared to do this presentation in the t-shirts that I typically been wearing over the course of the past few weeks. Anyways, also, I received a lot of questions on timelines about specific people asking, like, when are their businesses opening? Well, there's lots of great resources for you to go to look at that. Nationalpost.com has a great section where you can click on and look at by province what the reopening phases are, timelines, businesses that apply, and yeah, there's lots of places, lots of news outlets that have that. I've been going to the National Post. That seems to be a good one. But regardless of the phases or your specific industry, really, I guess the great news is that provinces are starting to signal the reopening of many different businesses and industries in these different phases. And really, that signals great news for our economy, obviously, and all our businesses. But I would say even more importantly, what that signals is we're now seeing, if you look at these trends, a decrease in new cases, increase in recovery rates, and all other measures that Health Canada is using for lifting the lockdown measures we have. So really, such great news. It's been a while since we've been able to look at some great news. So we're really excited about that. On that note, I want to also address that depending on what market you're in, you're probably going to receive an email from CCA inviting you to different webinars that are market specific. And these webinars are going to be all about the things that we're doing for our winners. So far, we're going to share specifics, the different initiatives that winners have been doing with us during this period, how companies are really preparing themselves to hit the ground running when their markets open. Again, those are market specific, so I really encourage you to reach out to your local Consumer Choice Award contact or email me directly. Again, feel free to email me at any time. I'm more than happy to talk about your market specifically or get you in touch with those at CCA who manage your markets as well. So again, really looking forward to, as we open doors across Canada, working with many more winners to really make sure that they hit the ground running. And lastly, I got some really, really great emails about some of the things that different companies are doing. And I'm really going to encourage you to keep sharing those with me, and I'm going to highlight a couple here today. So what's the purpose of today's episode? Well, I want to cover 3 things, and I'm going to try to do these very quickly because I do understand that web series should be short and to the point. So again, I'm going to try to go through these things pretty quickly. I did have a lot of questions around social media, and I think it's a great question because what we are finding is, and myself included, is that social media engagement is through the roof. There is an engagement on a consumer level, as all consumers are at home, and I don't know if consumers is the right word to use, but as it relates to advertising sense, sure. People are online a lot more, obviously. Here we are today, we're communicating through webinars. But online usage, engagement, meaning time spent on the sites such as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube to that extent, even LinkedIn a little bit, but mainly Facebook and Instagram. We're seeing that engagement, time spent on site, and amount of visits and time per day has greatly increased. So what does that mean for a business? Well, there is a great opportunity there. What we have found is that not only are engagement rates going way up, more people online and spending more time on these sites, but we've also seen a decrease in local advertising. There are companies who aren't advertising right now. So if you couple those two things together, if you have the opportunity to advertise right now, you have an amazing opportunity to take sort of a lion's share of that market, of that audience you're trying to reach. If more people are online and more people are online at these sites more often, and there's less advertising happening, well, then your message gets delivered at a greater level and people will see your ads way more often. So that reach and that frequency coupled together is really strong right now. So we have seen a lot of our campaigns, and we're running hundreds from coast to coast, where we're putting in very specific measures. And again, I'm going to dig deeper into this in a different episode. But what you have the opportunity right now is if you're trying to reach an audience, a very local audience, we're able to reach that audience at greater levels and reach that audience way more often. So that is something I would really consider as you are preparing to hit the ground running. Now is a great time as consumers' minds are shifting to looking at different services. You have the opportunity right now to be in front of them in a very tailored audience, which is great about social media, way more often. And so we're seeing a lot of success with that. So again, I'm going to share a little bit more tactics and a little more insight in a later episode, but I did have a lot of questions around social media and how can people, is there an opportunity to be had? And the short answer is too late for that. Definitely there is an opportunity. Yeah, we'd be happy to talk about that with you one-on-one at any time. Again, email me. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to get you in touch with the right person. Lastly, or not lastly, I did have a lot of feedback from some companies doing some really cool things. And I'm going to take time over the next little while to make sure I highlight every single one of you that responded. But today I'm going to just highlight 3 things that I thought were pretty neat, especially as they're sort of all different industries. So first is I got a great email from Matt at the Ear Depot in Peterborough. Peterborough is a new market for us. We launched it last year, so this is a first-time winner. And really, I thought this was interesting because Matt, in his email to me, talked about what's great about that's happening right now is people are connecting over Zoom calls and FaceTime, and millions and millions of people are being able to do that and getting connected to their family. But there is a great population of people out there that that is not so easy, and that is people with hearing disabilities. Yeah, I thought that was a really good point, and you often have to think of everyone when you're doing these things. And right now, Matt and his company, they have remained open, but not obviously as a physical place to walk into. But what they have created and adapted really quickly is they have created some home maintenance kits, and they're providing telecast or telecare appointments with that. So, great on the Ear Depot in Peterborough to really be thinking about a part of our population that I hadn't thought about, so that they can be in touch with all their loved ones and friends during this time as well. A totally different industry, printing company, M&T Print, which is a CCA winner both in Waterloo and London. I saw something very early on right away on Mike Froome, his LinkedIn profile for M&T Print. M&T Print was creating disposable beds. If there was a time where hospitals were overrun and beds became an issue, they were on it, and it was really cool. It's made out of, I think this is correct, I saw Falcon board, so it's totally disposable. Obviously, these things can be shipped very easily in great quantities, and I thought that was really neat. So, here's a company, a printing company, doing something to really kind of adapt to the times and make their services available should it be needed. I also know, as I've seen, as I was looking at their LinkedIn profile of that company, they're doing all sorts of other things like plexiglass barriers for retailers, caution tape, all those things as well. But I thought the disposable beds was something that was really cool as it related to what thankfully, crisis averted at the time, but early on in this, there was some worry here in Canada as we looked at what was going on in the US of just capacity issues with hospitals, and I thought that was really neat. Lastly, this is not a CCA winner, but it's a local company. A woman here in my neighborhood is doing something really, really neat, and I shared this with a photographer winner of ours in another market. So if you're a photographer winner, and right now where weddings aren't happening or events aren't happening, so really there isn't a business for you, this local photographer, this woman in my neighborhood, is doing front porch portraits, and families are going to their front porch, and she is, well behind 6 feet away and snapping some great family portraits that families are using to, all families love a family portrait, but what a great way to mark this time in history. You'll always have that memory of, of this time, and here's your front porch portrait. So if you're a photographer winner, I thought that was a brilliant idea. Here's a really cool way that a very specific business, again, is adapting to what's going on and hopefully drumming up some business. So there's just a couple snippets. I am going to dig deeper into really some online tactics to help prepare this. I also really want to encourage you to reach out to myself or anyone at CCA if you'd rather have not watch this in a webinar format, but want to speak one-on-one specifically as it relates to your business. We're here and we're available to do that. As I mentioned, we work with thousands of companies just like you, coast to coast, but right now hundreds and hundreds of companies who are doing some really great things online to reach a tailored audience for whether they're in business right now or preparing themselves and building these campaigns to hit the ground running for when their industry reopens in their market. So on that note, I want to do a bit of a call to action here. So I'm asking you to reach out to me if you have any questions, but I'm also reaching out to you right now is I'd like to do the next episode of this series to be an interview. And I want to interview one of our winners specifically. If you've got something that you feel you'd love to share, how you have adapted through these times, things that you've done to reach your customer base, anything, I would love to do it. I would love to have this and maybe use this platform moving forward to not just me speaking to a camera, but really have the opportunity to engage one-on-one and share these conversations with everyone else. So reach out to me. My email address is in the email I sent you. It's here on the screen. And I would love for our next episode to be an interview format with one of our winners to talk about the things that they have done to not only adapt, but also prepare. And I think that would be great insight for the rest of us to learn. So thank you for watching. I really look forward to hearing from each and every one of you and look forward to hopefully seeing you all in a very near future. Have a great day. Thank you.